Hey guys, this is Ben from Hilltop Packs.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we're making this quick little video because this month, or this week, marks 5 years since we started thinking about starting a backpacking company. Didn't have the name for the business just yet, but it was 5 years ago, sitting at home. I had always made a lot of my own backpacking equipment, like dry bags, stuff sacks, made some camera bags, and I started making some backpacks, and I thought maybe there's something there that I can make. And we already had a business that was doing pretty well. We wanted to make something for our daughters to kind of work in the basement, make some extra money. So I just thought maybe we could do something, and this is the week where I started writing the business plan. Didn't even have a name for it, so we thought we'd talk about that time in our lives just a little bit, because things have definitely changed since then and have kind of blown up. But this is my wife Kaylee, and she does run our photography studio that we've been doing for a gazillion years, and then she still runs it today. You look really tiny in the video. You're too far away.
It's a good thing. I like looking tiny.
All right, so we have some questions for each other about that time in our lives, so we thought we'd answer those with each other right now in a video. So you want to go first?
Sure. So looking back when we first started just in the basement, did you ever expect Hilltop Packs to grow as fast as it has?
No, this was 2019. Had no aspirations or even really thought it would ever grow outside the basement. I thought that's something for my daughters to do while my oldest was in college, and the second daughter was in high school finishing up. We thought they would do it for a few years. It would fizzle out, it would go away, and that would kind of be it. And just a fun little side family project, and really didn't have any idea that it would ever really take off. And it didn't take off right away. It took a little while. So a couple questions for you. Okay. So I have one. I'd made my own gear up to that point, some stuff, but the first backpack that I had made, I remember making it in the basement. This was before we started Hilltop, before I even thought about a business. But I brought it up, and I remember how proud you were and you excited, you couldn't believe I made a backpack.
I was so impressed.
In our basement. But looking at that backpack then, and thinking about this, and then looking at the backpacks we make now, talk about how you felt then, and then now looking back, how do you...
I remember him coming upstairs to show me this backpack, and I was very impressed. I was like, I can't believe you just built that. You sewed that in our basement? Are you kidding me? And I told him, you're awesome and all this stuff. But now looking back at what it looked like prior to his designs today, it was absolutely awful.
It was embarrassing to look at now.
It was like something I would sew.
But it was just stuff we had around the house and some scraps. We didn't have a whole lot of stuff to sew and play around with. But we always had a sewing machine in our house, and I'd made speaker covers back when I DJ'd back in the day. I'd make duffel bags. I made a jacket when I was playing paintball. I made a paintball jacket. I've always made stuff since high school.
Did you ever expect to end up in 3 different buildings in a 5-year time period?
No, of course not. So I really thought we'd be in our basement. We had initially, I bought 3 machines for my 2 daughters, and then to upgrade the one we already had. And then we bought a 4th machine, and then my wife started helping us a little bit because we got kind of busy. So we had I think we had 5, maybe even 6 machines in our basement total.
I think 5.
And if you'd see some old videos of that old space, it's very small, and we had to use another space next to us, which even had a toilet in it. So there was a sewing machine right next to a toilet, which made me super efficient. Our breaks were very short. So pretty crazy to think back. So I never thought we'd outgrow our basement. And then, just 9-10 months later, we moved into another building downtown Waynesburg, and I thought that would be it. And we had 5 employees there within 9 months. And then we outgrew that space. We moved into the space we're in now, and we're still here today. And we have plenty of room to grow here as well. So we have plenty of space. It's a big building. You don't like backpacking at all. Did you think this was a crazy idea to even start this business? You were probably wondering, who the heck am I even selling this to? We don't live near any trails or anything.
Right, and if we did, I wouldn't have known about them. So.
But how many hikes have you been on?
I've been on 2 hikes during the winter.
And they were amazing. I'll just answer for her. She loved them so much. So we're going to go on lots more trips. So. Anyway, so she's not a hiker. That was the question. But she still supported me through the whole thing, even though she thought it was she couldn't understand how it was going to take off. I didn't understand it either. It just kind of happened. So, okay, next question.
All right. Out of all the products that you have designed, which one is your favorite to date?
Well, a lot of the products, they're kind of already existed. You just kind of tweak them a little bit, like our food bags, dry bags, stuff sacks. You really can't take credit for that. But I do like the backpacks we've created. I think they're very comfortable. I like the roll-top fanny packs we make. All the stuff I made for Apex Giant, which is basically the same company, just have a partner on that end. Like the dog bone, the speed hanger does really well. But our roll-top fanny packs are pretty popular, and keep getting more popular. But yeah, so I like them all. There's not really a favorite, I don't think. The ones that surprise me the most might be the dog bone. We sold thousands and thousands and thousands of those things.
Yeah.
On just the idea of trying to make a bear hang a little bit faster, a little bit easier, because I can't tie a knot to save my life, and I just don't feel like memorizing it. I only go on 5-6 trips a year, and I'm not going to memorize knots. It's just not a thing I'm into. So dog bone solved that problem, and there just happen to be thousands of other people that have the same mentality or problem, and how you look at it. So.
Alrighty. Out of all the hikes that you have been on, do you have a favorite place to go or one that's most memorable to you?
Yeah, so my favorite place to go is West Virginia. I like different places all throughout West Virginia. I live in Pennsylvania, but we hike in West Virginia a lot. There's a few cool places in Pennsylvania, but West Virginia just like never disappoints. To date, favorite place is probably still up in New Hampshire. My buddy Justin invited us up to come up there, and he's on YouTube. And that was a pretty epic trip. And he gets to do it all the time, but for me to go up in that environment where there's several feet of snow and you're hiking up in the White Mountains.
Way different temperatures than we're used to also.
Pretty crazy. I love wintertime hiking, and I don't think it like barely got above zero. I forget really. But it was cold, but it was like perfect. The sun was out. It wasn't awful. And we spent 3 days up there, and that was a pretty epic trip. And if you get a chance to go up there, go with somebody who knows what they're doing, because it could be a pretty dangerous environment. But loved it. I wouldn't mind going back one day. So Justin, if you're watching, invite me back, and I'll come on up. Okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you always kind of sneak in and see what I'm doing, and for the most part your eyes glaze over, you can care less, but there's always one YouTuber that every time you come fly in the room, you're like, who is that? So who is that?
Jason, backpacking with Jason.
Okay,
I could listen to Jason talk all the time. I love his voice, his accent. I'm always interested in what he has to say.
There's a lot of YouTubers I met through this whole thing, and Jason's one of them, and that's why I brought this up. But every YouTuber, even no matter what they do, I think Jason builds like houses and stuff, and Jeremiah Stringer is a teacher. John Kelly works within a church and does a few things there maybe as a pastor or youth pastor, I forget. Buddy Tim he works for us out in South Dakota, does some different things out there.
We love you, Tim.
Rob, who works, I just met him recently, he works for Leave No Trace. But everybody, even though vastly different jobs, you get around the fire, we're all kind of the same, and everybody becomes quick friends. It's kind of crazy how something about hiking, and I don't know what that is. We all have that in common. You just jump right into friendship right there. Pretty easy to slip into. And I can't think of any other profession, hobby. Like I fly RC airplanes, I ride motorcycles, and the people I hang out with for those hobbies, we're vastly different, and we don't really. It's not like hiking. It's different. It's not the same thing. We couldn't sit around and talk about flying RC airplanes without the airplanes being there. We couldn't sit around and talk about motorcycles and for very long before we got pretty boring. But hiking, I don't know what it is. It just, there's something there that bonds everybody pretty quickly and become fast friends. So I think that was a question you did not ask me, but I just answered it anyway. So I'm gonna let you ask a question.
Alrighty, who is your favorite employee at Hilltop Packs?
I'm gonna say you, my wife. There you go. All right, so all the employees are amazing. Like, we were so lucky.
We could not make this place function without them.
The ideas that I had for the business early on really involved finding the right people to help me run it, and we did. So we ship like close to 5,000 products a month, shipped over 50 countries, and it's every state in the United States, of course. Bunch of different stores, smaller stores, of course. We don't go for after big stores, but we could not do any of that without the right employees, because I know the face of the business, but I'm not the person that makes everything. I'm involved in the backpacks. The rest of the business, they do everything else. I do all the product design, and then they take off on it. So it's pretty crazy. You couldn't do this without the right people. I've been very fortunate. We have, like, including us, I think there's 15 people that work here, and even down to Tim, our content creator, who out in South Dakota. He's perfect for that job. Amy, who runs the whole shop for me, awesome. Then you have Amanda, who's our shop supervisor, and I think that's her title. I forget titles all the time. You get Christian, Brandon, everybody does their own little thing, and Jen with the shipping and customer service. Without those people in those specific places, it wouldn't work. And it may seem like chaotic to them, but on the outside looking and watching them all, it's awesome to watch. They have no idea how good they are. I think they get a little frustrated sometimes how busy we are, but they don't realize what a well-oiled machine they have really become, which is pretty cool to watch.
We also couldn't do it without you guys. We are always thankful for your continued support.
Could have, we just won't get paid.
Wouldn't be as successful. So thank you guys so much.
Electricity wouldn't be turned on. We have no power. No, the support from the customers has been overwhelmingly positive. I never expected some of the connections I've made. And even some of the hikes I went on, some customers have just said, hey, I'm going to be near you. Do you want to go on a hike? I'm like, yeah, let's go. You know, I'm not one to I don't have a bucket list. I just like saying yes when an opportunity pops up. So we've had customers say, hey, I'm coming down from New York, or I'm coming over from Ohio, and do you want to go on a hike? I'm like, sure. They could be a mass murderer. I don't even know.
Haven't had one yet, though, so we're good.
Yeah, nobody's tried to kill me yet. So, any last questions or anything?
No, that's all.
So just want to make a quick little video. It's been 5 years since I thought about starting a company. The way it worked, so I started thinking about it, building a business plan in July. Came up with the name early August, maybe late July, and then we actually officially did all the paperwork in the middle of August, and then officially opened for business in September at some point. I have to look up the dates. I think it was September. I forgot. I'll look it up. But anyway, we're gonna do a few videos like this over the next few months. But just want to jump on and say thank you guys for supporting us so much. And anything else you want to add?
Have a great day.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.